Hello, welcome to a new series on the channel. I was going to wait until I finished my IL-2 career before starting this, and then I saw how many missions there might be in that career. I thought I might as well do the two series concurrently. We are flying the Mjolnir response campaign. The first mission has been queued up here, and this is a Viggen campaign. The campaign ships with the Viggen itself, so if you own the Viggen, you should get the campaign with that aircraft. Here we are at mission number 1, and it is set on the 15th of May 1994 in Georgia. We are apparently in this mission hunting for a ship. The mission is called Hunt for the Ivanov. Armaments are couple of RB-24Js. We have the chaff and flare dispenser and a jammer. The briefing is quite nice. I like the way they've done the briefing here. They're basically using the standard GSMEAC format, the NATO briefing format. All the information I need to know is very concisely placed in this text that I'm scrolling through here, and then there is a nice simple map with my waypoints laid out. That's exactly how I expect a nice briefing to be. So let's go through it quickly. Situation. Looks like we're operating out of western Georgia, and it's overcast with rain. That's going to be interesting. The mission here. Naval intelligence wants us to identify and detect Russian eland ships. Intelligence suggests that the ship Ivanov has been dispatched for this purpose and is patrolling the coast off Georgia. Your flight, Springfield 1, will patrol the western coast off Georgia. Your task will be to locate the ship Ivanov, pictured there. The Ivanov is a modified cargo ship, still visually identical to that of a common freighter, but contains large amounts of electronic and signals intelligence equipment. She is easily identified by the ISI containers on her upper deck. Find the ship on radar and approach her. Visually identify the ship by flying past her at low altitude. Once the ship has been positively identified, return to base. The wingman will record the data necessary. That's good. The patrol area is already marked out in a data cartridge, but can be input manually. I think I'll just use the data cartridge. Rules of engagement are hold and only fire in self-defense. We are operating out of Kutaisi. We can use a number of bases for emergency. Pilot's discretion for takeoff. That's good. I can just get airborne when I'm ready. Just looking through if there's anything else interesting we need to note here. There is a section here about using the reconnaissance functionality. It is not necessary for the completion of the mission. I think I'll turn the recon part of the computer on. We'll go through this once we're in the cockpit, and let's get started. Let's get started. Here we are, spawned in, and there is my wingman to my left. It is raining, so
Kutaisi Tower, Colt 1, ready to taxi.
Colt 1, clear taxi, runway 07.
Clear to taxi, runway 07, Colt 1.
okay, so there's a couple of F5s over there getting airborne. Colt formation. And we do have a few structures parked next to us here. I did test this mission to make sure it was working already once, and I actually taxied into that object over there and broke the aeroplane. So I just have to be careful about that. We'll get ourselves warmed up. I think I can put in a request to start.
Kutaisi, Springfield 1-1, request startup.
Don't know if we'll hear back without the radios being on. Let's get started. In any case. Right, generator on. And we'll now start the warm-up process for the aircraft. Sounds like my wingman next door is also spooling up now. And once I get all my electronics lights on, I will then insert the data cartridge and we'll start setting up the computer with its various waypoints.
Colt 1 runway 07, clear for takeoff, contact Stingray once airborne.
Clear for takeoff, runway 07, Colt pushing Stingray after takeoff.
That chap does appear to have a little bit of problem with his radio transmissions. He's umming and ahhing just a little bit there. Okay, computer is ready now. Let's enter the cartridge over here on the back. And we'll tell the machine to select and accept all the data that is on the cartridge. There we go. I think at this point I'll also run through the process of setting the recon square, which we'll do in a second, and that'll tell the computer within which sort of square to accept data. We've got a Iroquois flying overhead, which you may hear. You just hear him, I think. And I think those Tigers will also be getting airborne. There we go. Close the lid again. So, we'll enter the and we want to be on the input position here. 9201 is B2. 9201 is B2. 9202 is B3. 9203 is B4. And 9204 is B5. That is that entered. Now we can display data by moving this thing around, which we'll do later, but we're ready for taxi now, so I'm going to tell ATC that we want to taxi, and I'm not getting any, I don't have the ability to do that, so we're going to just taxi out ourselves. Everything there is now ready. We'll get the landing light on if we can. And we're ready to go. Let's push forward. Make sure we go around these objects here. We don't taxi into them. There we go. Okay, runway 08. We're taxiing towards. You'll see I turned the, or I haven't turned the computer over to the nav position yet. We'll wait till we get close to the runway for that, because it's quite a long taxi here, and the nav doesn't like to be activated too early. It can develop faults if you turn it on too early in your startup procedure. So we'll wait till we get to the threshold, and we'll do that just before we line up. Right, throttle back now so we can make this 90-degree left turn. No one approaching from the right. Checking the airspace to make sure no one is on final approach. It looks like we are clear. So we'll now go to the nav computer. I'll just come to a complete stop before we line up. And we'll just set the nav computer up quickly here. Nav on. Request takeoff.
Springfield 1-1. Request takeoff.
I think you're supposed to request takeoff once you've lined up. Because as soon as I turn onto the runway, he's going to deny my request, and then when I stop, he'll accept it. So we'll get a no.
Unable to clear for takeoff.
Unable to clear for takeoff, and I'm just going to bring the aircraft.
Springfield 1-1. Pataisi, you are cleared for takeoff already. Climb 300 at QFE 28.20.
2820 QFE, but we have a different system on this machine, so I just zero the altimeter there, which is fine. We're zeroed. We have LS showing there. That is set up. We're set up here. HUD is ready, and then we'll raise that once we get airborne. We are clear for takeoff. Let's go. Just straightening up the line here. Okay, we're lined up. Bit of afterburner. .250. Start the rotation. Up we go. Gear up. Change the HUD position. Airspeed above 400. Okay, waypoint heading is to the right. I'm going to give my wingman a chance to catch up. So I'm going to extend out on this heading for a little bit, and then I'm going to turn right. Going now.
Springfield 1, Stingray, radar contact. Proceed to your patrol area.
Looking for my wingman. Should be about to get airborne. Oh, there he is. Swinging around aggressively behind me. Good. That's the heading to the waypoint. We're going to fly at, let's go low level, out to the coast. Okay, we're just on mill power, just below the afterburn. And we'll drop down. All the lights are confirmed as off. All right, let's go Viggen. Wingman's just sitting above me. I have to climb a bit here. Go up over those power lines. There's another set of power lines ahead here, so I'll go over them and dive back down into this field here. Maybe to run along this row of trees down through here. So we've got a bit of a gap. Not quite big enough for me though. Power line, just get under this one. Just off course a bit, so I'm just correcting here. Up over this forest. We're about to approach the coast. I do have the coast in sight. We need to head south though to hit our waypoint at the airfield. It's about 15 kilometers ahead in this direction, and then we'll be turning out over the sea. Through the chimney smoke. Power lines. And there's our waypoint. Airfield. So, Bravo 3, turning right. This will take us out to the coast where we can start looking for these ships. Right, so let's get visual contact. I've got a ship there. That's the first one, I think. I've got another ship over to my right. So we've got a ship at 1 o'clock and then a ship at 3. So we'll try and get nice and close to this one. Get a nice visual as we go through here. Looking for those containers. I don't think it's this one. That does not have those containers on it.
No, that's not the ship.
Oh, cool. The wingman's talking.
Searching.
Okay, so there's one over here. Yeah, where's this other one I saw? There. Thought I'd lost sight of it. It's a bit hard to see. There's a bit of haze, I think, and the ships are a dark blue colour against the relatively dark blue sea. The afterburner on for a moment there. Okay, does this have the containers? It does have some containers. It's a different looking ship to the other one.
These are not the ships we are looking for.
Okay, these are not the ships we are looking for. Very nice. Nice little touch there. Okay, so we've done 2 ships. I might turn the radar on now. Oh, we need to get out the cloud. Drop back down, see if I can spy any more ships. There's one dead ahead. Radar's not scanning. Okay, this one's also got cargo on it, by the looks of things. See if this is one of the droids that we're looking for. It's got cargo on it.
Ah, there she is. Containers on deck. Contacting Stingray.
Okay, we found it. So we can head home, I think. Yep, return to base.
Taking photos. Location.
Okay, so my wingman's going to take photos.
Head back to base when evening.
Excellent work. Mission accomplished. Turn on to 080. I'm now going to dump the external tanks. We won't need those. Certainly for landing. Might as well get rid of them. Could have dumped them earlier. But never mind. So I get weird shadow drawing over the sea. I don't know if anyone else has the same thing, but the way the shadows draw is really not very good. Especially under these conditions. I get this really weird squared off shadowing. So if anyone else has that, I'd be interested to know, or whether other people get a nice even transition or a straight line or something. Because for me it's quite distracting seeing that. Maybe in the second mission we'll have to go and strike that ship. I do love doing maritime strike in the Viggen. Okay, dropping back down. Citizens of this town won't be too happy about these 2 Viggens going overhead. Still have the bug with the canopy glass. As I zoom out, the canopy glass switches to this. You can see it's a bright white there, and as I zoom in it goes back. I was told that you could get rid of that by changing the shadows to default, and I have changed the shadows to default and it didn't fix it. So that's another thing that I think still needs a bit of work. They have done a lot of work on the Viggen. It's really improving significantly over the last couple of patches, which is partly why I've decided to fly this campaign now. I was waiting for a bit of a patch, and they certainly are very active in their development of this bird, but it would just be nice to see a few of those other things fixed up. There's an Iroquois going the other way, skimming low over the trees. That's a nice little feature there. It's this beautiful forest here. And the trees don't rotate either. Ah, so nice to see trees that actually do what trees are supposed to do. Just sit there. I do have a little bit of stutter, and I think it's because I've actually set the... I'm getting 50 frames. I've set the anisotropic filtering up too high. I bumped it up prior to flying this mission, and I think I've just set it too high. I'm going to drop it back down again to my normal setting. Let's go supersonic. Full throttle, third stage afterburn. And there we are now transonic. Just going to shift the nose up a little and go externals. Actually hear the echo of the supersonic clap there. I can hear an echo afterwards. That was nice. I never heard that before. That might be one of the new sounds they've added in the sound effects updates. Airspeed now is 1,400 and some. Mach 1.28. Smash a few windows down here. Alright, 10k's out. Zero the throttle. And we'll request inbound.
Springfield, 1-1.
Here's the field. Right underneath us. I'll go into a left-hand brake.
Springfield, 1-1. Taxi, 56253, 48, QFE 28.20, runway 08, to pattern altitude.
So left hand. Air brakes will go out now.
Springfield, 1-1. Clear
Turn some
for
lights on.
contact tower.
Get the reverse thruster turned on. Change to landing mode on the HUD. AFK for auto throttle. Bring the air brakes back in. Check the landing light is in the on position. I think we might just be a little bit close in, but we'll turn anyway. We can get rid of this airspeed quite easily. Let's request landing now.
Kutaisi, Springfield, 1-1. Request landing.
Gear down. And air brakes just about back out briefly. We'll get the speed down to 300. Air brakes in. Okay, and rolling in on runway 08. We didn't get a response, so I'm going to request again.
Springfield, 1-1. Request landing. Springfield, 1-1. Kutaisi, clear to land, runway 08. Wind 080 at 3 meters per second.
Okay, thanks, Kutaisi. Lined up nicely here. Drop the HUD down now. And reverse thruster shows us on, so we'll engage the reverse thruster pretty soon after the wheels hit. 300 is a good airspeed for approach. It's holding nicely. And just going to bleed off a little bit of airspeed here, air brakes out, and then push the nose in for landing. Get that nose nicely lowered down, reverse thrust, engage. Reverse thrust off. Bring in the air brakes. Good, we're clear. We'll exit the runway just up here on the left.
Springfield 1-1. Taxi to parking area.
Taxi to parking area, we are clear of the runway. It's a bit of a taxi we have to do here. We have to get up, park over by those buildings. My wingman should be landing very soon as well. I think I can see him off in the distance over there. Yep, that's got to be him. He'll land as well. Approaching the parking area now. This is where we left from originally. Oh, slow down, slow down, slow down. Let's turn right. I could reverse in here. That would also be quite cool, but I'll just go straight in. Very good. And we'll open the canopy. It does appear that my wingman is going around. He is not landing. Yes, he's aborting his approach. So we will close the mission here. Thanks for watching mission 1 of the Mjolnir response campaign. We will be flying mission 2 sort of soon. And I'll be mixing this series in with the single player series that I am running for the Red Army in IL2. See you again.